Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And as we do every Wednesday evening, in just a few minutes, Rich Levinsky is going to be with us talking about consulting in the workplace. He always has some great topics. I wanted to continue in this video session talking about body language. Boy, people don't practice this, especially since we've been doing video interviews for the past couple of years since COVID. And we went over last week how do you walk into an office, how you make a good presentation in shaking hands and that kind of thing. Now we're going to talk about body language and animation with your hands. Proper body posture is essential in making a good impression. You need to position your shoulders and your torso in the interview the right way. Good posture, you need to appear interested, engaged, and ready to interact with most any interviewer you run into so that they will mirror you. Orienting your body away from somebody conveys detachment and disengagement, especially if you turn to the side to talk to them or turn your head. You want to be squarely in front of them and squarely in focus with them. Lean slightly forward in the chair to show eagerness and attention. Sit up straight with your shoulders back. Don't slouch as though you definitely will appear disinterested and unprepared. If you recline with your shoulders back against the chair and your legs outstretched or crossed in front of you, you're going to appear too relaxed and very lazy. Whatever you do, don't lean back in the chair with your hands behind your head. It's a sign of arrogance. And don't laugh. I had a candidate do that just last week. He leaned back in the chair, crossed his feet, and put his hands behind his head, almost to say, "What you got?" Don't do that. Demonstrate confidence, openness, and enthusiasm with the correct type of hand gestures and arm positioning. The way your arms are positioned says a lot about your state of mind and attitude. The right hand gestures convey much of what you're trying to convey in the interview with words. Let your hands help you express feelings, needs, and convictions, of course, without going over the top. Now, there are three categories of hand gestures: emblematic gestures, which signal an unspoken mutual meaning, such as raising your finger to your lips to imply quiet. The pacifier gestures, such as burying your head in your hands as though to relieve stress. You don't want to do that in an interview. And then the gestures you want to use in an interview are illustrative gestures. These gestures develop simultaneous speech and help the speaker find the right words to make the messages and thoughts more emphatic and precise. You want to use those a lot. There are several types of hand and arm gestures that are often used with words and emphasize words. Supine palms facing upwards imply a lack of something and the speaker speaker needs and is requesting. Supine gestures at a 45-degree tilt imply candor and openness. Prone palms facing down signal power and certainty. The steeple fingers intertwined with the index finger outstretched and touching express confidence and expertise. The fig leaf with hands when you're standing, grasp in front of the groin, communicate a state of being closed off and distrusting. Rigid hands can emphasize certain important words. Hiding the hands can come across as though you're being very untrustworthy. Hands touching the face, the head, or the hair imply being nervous, vulnerable, and tentative. Arm gestures above your shoulders broadcast a person being erratic and overly emotional. Arms held at waist high, however, express centeredness and composure. Keep your arms open as a sign of inclusion. Arms crossed or over your chest come across as closed off, unapproachable, and defensive. If you're at a table, place your hands on a table. If you're sitting at one, or on your lap in front of you, but don't keep your hands in your lap or sitting on the table throughout the interview. It will come across as unenthusiastic and unimaginative. Use your illustrative hand gestures to emphasize what you're talking about. Keep your hands at chest level or below, and use moderate arm movements to help you express yourself. If you flail your hands and arms about while you're speaking, you'll look and come across uncontrollable and unbelievable and powerless. Rubbing your head or neck will make you look disinterested, and rubbing or touching your nose displays dishonesty. Now, this takes a lot of practice. You have to practice this kind of interviewing in front of a spouse, a friend, a cohort, but it does take practice. Review this video to reinforce what to do and what not to do. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashara with the Job Search Solution.